damaging, destructive tornado. Strong tornado. Strong tornado. That's a strong tornado.
Severe weather touched down in Colorado today. We saw multiple reports of tornadoes, including video of this one near Bennett this afternoon. There was also this in Aurora today. A viewer sent in a time-lapse video of a tornado trying to form near Arapahoe and Liverpool. Thanks for joining us this Sunday night. I'm Jennifer Meckles. These storms produced a ton of damage. We'll see some of it in just a minute. And still tonight, DIA is seeing more than 1,000 flight delays. We want to get right to meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Chris, this system at this point has mostly cleared Colorado and moved on.
The severe threat, it's done, Jenny. I think a lot of us can say thank goodness. We also saw some pretty large hail. Saw up to about ping pong ball sized hail in parts of the metro area, and likely significantly bigger than that, closer to about baseball sized hail in the Northeast Plains. A very busy day of severe weather, but the threat for severe storms, it's done here across the Northeast Plains and the metro area. So this was the view from 40 to 45 miles away from Lakewood, looking east past Buckley Space Force Base. And there it is, that landspout tornado touchdown. Here's a much closer view of it, that distinct ground up view, that kind of elephant trunk view, which is so distinct with these landspout tornadoes. But those storms have now moved their way on up into Nebraska and Kansas. And a very strong tornado touched down within the last hour in western Kansas. But in Colorado, things are much quieter for us here across eastern Colorado. Meantime, in the mountains, the next stories, that snow that's starting to fill on in for us in the mountains, that's going to pick up here as we head over the next couple of hours, but things pretty quiet for us across the metro area, and it'll stay that way for the next little while. Another view of that tornado. I'm going to have more details on what you saw later today, earlier today, and also a look ahead at more showers and storms for tomorrow, and detail that severe threat for you there as well. That's coming up in a couple minutes.
Chris, thank you. This video of a tornado touching down was taken in the Elkhorn Ranch neighborhood in Elbert County. 9 News reporter Rachel Krause was out there today speaking with neighbors soon after about what they saw and the damage that was left behind.
Damage and debris is scattered throughout yards and fields in the Elkhorn neighborhood in Elbert County after a tornado swept through Sunday afternoon.
Just never thought it would happen out here.
Tim Greenwood and his family are picking up the pieces of their home, now scattered throughout the yard.
Yeah, I mean, it's devastating. I mean, you see everything that you've worked so hard for and worked on and built, and now it's all over the street. So it's crazy.
Tim and his wife were inside Sunday afternoon when he says he saw a debris field spinning. His wife moved fast to grab their dog as the three headed to their basement.
And windows started popping as we're heading down the stairs. And we just huddled in the basement and grabbed the dog, made sure she was okay, and we came back up. Our barn was gone, back of our house was gone, half the roof. Pretty much the neighborhood on this side was obliterated, so we didn't know what to do.
The tornado ripped open their home. Little is left untouched. Still, Tim says he's lucky.
I'm usually in the barn, and thank God I wasn't, else I don't think I would have survived that. The garage door totally wrapped around the trees.
19 homes in the Elkhorn neighborhood were hit by the storm. No one was hurt. One pet was injured and 2 others are missing.
That's the most important thing. No firefighters hurt and no residents or citizens hurt.
Rattlesnake Fire Chief Cass Kilduff says crews were out quickly to check on folks. A direct hit from a tornado here, he says, is rare.
We do here and there, but not to this magnitude where it takes out homes like that in a stretch.
After losing so much in seconds, Tim knows the cleanup won't be as quick. He says they'll take their time, clearing away the debris from their home, piece by piece.
Yeah, it's going to be a long haul, so we'll see what we can do and go from there.
These next few days will be busy ones for folks living in the neighborhood as they work to save what they can from the tornado's path and clean up the rest. In Elbert County, Rachel Krause, 9 News.
And that same storm also did a number on Adams County near Bennett. We got so many photos and videos sent to us from this area, and tonight much of that area is still without power after a reported tornado damaged at least 17 structures. 9 News reporter Jaleesa Irizarry takes us there.
This property just northeast of Bennett is one of more than a dozen covered in rubble. The Eastern Plains are no stranger to tornadoes, but neighbors tell me this is something they've never seen before.
This was one of my track championships. I think it was for Super Pro.
A lifetime of pride is now in pieces.
Yeah, it was a big trophy.
Race car driver Mark Faber's wall of medals are now merely a mess.
I don't think it's really sank in yet.
On Sunday afternoon, a tornado ripped through Adams County just outside of Bennett. The town says it touched down at least 3 different times.
Yeah.
Faber had a front row view.
I couldn't believe it when it kept coming. I thought, oh, it's just a dust devil.
It may not have been a dust devil, but it certainly was evil. As it slammed Carl Pennell's
Yes.
chairs into his patio door.
No, it just blew the glass in, and I saw that one come in. It's just a matter of getting it out of the way.
Carl never saw the tornado, but he can see what it did to his truck.
So it picked it up from there, flipped it or whatever, and it landed in the middle of my neighbor's field. Same thing with the tractor over there. It started out front at the corner, ended up on the other side of their fence.
My race car's about in the riverbed, half-mile away.
Back at Faber's,
It was sitting right here next to this trailer, this car.
Mother Nature moved more than his mementos. She messed with his livelihood.
My racing is probably done. Time to retire.
Faber's career may be destroyed.
Your whole life flushed down the toilet.
He can only hope his determination isn't.
Everything I've worked for and saved and collected is pretty much junk.
Faber's home is uninhabitable, but a neighbor lent him an RV to stay in the meantime. Both Faber and Pennell say they're lucky to be alive. Reporting just outside of Bennett, Jaleesa Irizarry, 9 News.
Our crew spent the day covering the storms. We have much more coverage online on 9news.com, or you can visit the 9 News app. That, by the way, is free to download in the Apple and the Google Play stores. In our other headlines tonight, Aurora police are investigating a deadly crash involving 4 vehicles this afternoon. It happened on Quincy Avenue near Uravan Street just before 4:30, close to Quincy Reservoir. Police say 1 person died, 2 others are in the hospital with serious injuries. At this point, APD says they do not know the factors that led up to that crash. Quincy was closed for hours while police investigated. And that crash is really just the latest in a series of deadly crashes this weekend. Denver police are investigating 3 deadly crashes, all involving pedestrians, just this morning. Investigators say 2 of these were hit and runs. They all happened within the span of 4 hours. Police are still looking for 1 suspect, the driver who hit and killed somebody on I-25 near 23rd. Denver police say there have been 26 traffic-related deaths since the start of this year. That's up 3 compared to last year's year-to-date.
Anecdotally, we do see more crashes involving cyclists, pedestrians, folks on stand-up electric scooters. They might be using other modes of transportation than their vehicles because the weather's nice, or more people just might be outside because we're out of the winter time. And so we do tend to see some upticks in the summer months.
There was also a deadly crash in Boulder County today. Colorado State Patrol says a driver hit a cyclist near 95th and Avocet Lane. The cyclist died from their injuries. Turning now to national news, former President Joe Biden has been diagnosed with prostate cancer. Biden's personal office announced today he has a more aggressive form of the disease. It has spread to his bones. The 82-year-old was diagnosed on Friday after experiencing urinary symptoms. The statement from Biden's office says, now, despite this being a more aggressive type of cancer, the cancer is, quote, hormone sensitive, which should allow for more effective management. A lot of politicians expressing support on social media today, including President Donald Trump. He wrote on Truth Social that he and First Lady Melania Trump, quote, extend our warmest and best wishes to Jill and the family, and we wish Joe a fast and successful recovery. Tonight, we have learned 2 people have died after a Mexican naval training ship crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge last night. 19 others were injured. The crash happened just before 8:30 p.m. Saturday night. A Mexican Navy ship hit this bridge during a sailing maneuver on a training cruise. Some sailors ended up hanging from the broken masts. Officials say nobody fell into the water, though. The Department of Transportation says there was no major damage to the bridge itself, and traffic resumed later that night. Inspectors will continue to assess the bridge's condition.